We're not at that injunction hearing yet. We're still here in between the filing of the application for temporary restraining order and the injunction hearing. So that 14-day period. And let's assume that there's some trouble with getting that hearing to occur. The abuser has left the state, is in custody in another state, any number of scenarios. More common though, if the abuser has fled and made it difficult to find them. So what can result from that, the only thing that can result from that is that the abuser would then think, haha, gotcha, that temporary restraining order is going to be dissolved and I'm just going to stay away on this extended vacation and you can't get me. Well, while that could work, and that might be the case if this was a temporary restraining order brought under our normal civil code, the Civil Practice and Remedies Code, and the Texas Rules of Civil Procedure. In the Family Code, these temporary restraining orders, because of the legislative mandate to protect victims of family violence and to prioritize victims of family violence, these temporary restraining orders can be extended numerous times, and there's even a case out of one of our courts of appeals that said extending the temporary restraining order 60 days because of issues related to the abuser and the abuser's conduct, either avoiding service or just being difficult, etc. 60 days isn't unreasonable under the Family Code to extend a temporary restraining order. So there's no gotcha game in the Texas Family Code when it comes to family violence. If the ex parte application is based on good faith and there's been a diligent effort by the party seeking the protection to get the other side noticed or what have you, to get the other side engaging in the injunction hearing, and the other side's done some things to slow that down, they're not going to be rewarded for their bad conduct. And while there are provisions under our other avenues of civil law, which I touched on, which say that a temporary restraining order is good for 14 days, can only be extended once, and then after that it dissolves. At the end of the day, that doesn't apply, doesn't trump the Texas Family Code. So things to know is that there are resources out there. If there's somebody who's in that 1 in 10 that you can reach out to, let them know about Rockwall Women in Need, serving both Rockwall and Hunt County, Texas. Let them know about Legal Aid of Northwest Texas, serving Dallas and Collin County. Let them know that there are resources out there that can provide them food, shelter, job training, clothing for their child or children. They won't be living in a homeless shelter on the street. There is a way out of the cycle of violence. It's not easy, but it's certainly easier than packing whatever you have on the clothes on your back and anything that'll fit in your overnight bag and fleeing across the country penniless or what have you, or in danger, worse, in danger of pursuit. Standing and fighting is a hard thing to do. It's hard to break that cycle of violence. Many people that you know have either come from or live in that cycle. And for those that have broken it, I commend them. And it's one of the reasons why I give back as much as I can in our community to organizations like Lone Star CASA, as well as CASA of East Texas and Van Zandt County, because where the rubber hits the road, those organizations are doing the most good with your charitable giving. It's almost completely volunteer, zero overhead organization, and these children need us the most.